Steel slides on steel. Cell 15 opens. The sound cuts the silence like a blade. A guard rouses Becket Redfellow for his last visitor. This marks what may be his final hour before the chair takes him. Father Morris enters with cheesecake. Becket declines, trading sharp sarcasm about ice cream flavors instead of gratitude. He insists on absolute mental clarity despite this grim reality. The priest warns that time has officially run out for conversation. Becket denies why he is here. He pivots sharply to his mother, Mary Estella Redfellow. We flash back. She was a wealthy heiress in Huntington, Long Island, where billions were just background noise. Then, urgent panic strikes, while a cellist plays nearby. Mary Redfellow stands at the edge of exile. Her father cuts ties completely. She chose motherhood over millions during a turbulent teenage pregnancy that shattered every expectation. She moves to Belleville with newborn Becket, while his grandfather's health crumbles from the scandalous break in ridded class structures he worshipped blindly all along. Dead silence falls around them. The young boy practices archery under strict instruction despite constant financial struggles, learning precision early on as a survival mechanism necessary for navigating worlds not designed for outsiders like himself or mother. Becket narrates how high culture shaped his identity even when money was scarce because style remains armor against poverty's sting in urban environments where appearances dictate respect earned daily through effort alone. Never given freely by birthright anymore today. Young Julia talks about inheriting money. The air feels heavy with unspoken tension I can't place yet. The piano teacher steps forward to introduce Lyle Archdale for a performance destined to become something much more than just music tonight. High-tempo notes fill the room until distant thunder and electrical buzzing create an unsettling atmosphere that makes my skin crawl instantly. Suddenly, the piano stops abruptly, which causes murmuring among the audience who are now confused by this unexpected interruption in their evening entertainment routine. Here today, guys. The teacher encourages Lyle to keep playing despite the disturbance, but young Becket inhales sharply as the music resumes amidst continued electrical buzzing. Becket fixes his tie. A shield against ghosts he can't outrun. He talks himself from foster care to the sterile office. Every stitch weighs a ton. Daryl drops mundane orders about an uptown client. Useless noise. Beckett's mind is elsewhere entirely, quietly tracking the Redfellow estate while keeping up appearances. Obsession growing behind the facade. Then the air changes. Julia slips out after sizing up the Redfellow fortune with a shadow colleague. Lyle steps in. He tells her Becket is still inside. Time shifts backward. Mary's voice haunts the air, swearing she won't surrender until she claims what she deserves. Becket lives alone now in a modest duplex since his mother died. Resentment festers deep within him for 7 relatives hoarding wealth he believes belongs to him. He spots Taylor Exeter Redfellow brokering deals at his father's firm. Reality hits hard during work hours. Daryl drops the bomb, transferred to Jersey City, replaced by Vic's kid. Becket fights back fiercely. Loyalty demands reward, not humiliation. Noah talks imposter syndrome over pulsing techno. Becket watches, recognizing his own unraveling in that anxiety, hidden beneath the tailored suits. A stranger approaches, claims they're cousins from Newark. Every alarm bell rings instantly. The man insists on developing photos himself. Asks if the woman at the door can keep their family ties secret. It feels staged, like a trap waiting to snap shut around his ankles. Noah comes home early, finds Ruth and Becket in his living room, smoking like they own the place. Watch the deception tighten before the boom even registers. Noah and Ruth linger at a party. They bond over hating kids, while someone laughs at Noah's grim take on Eastern European trauma from Frankel's. It looks civil, but Becket is already counting seconds. He mixes sulfur with potassium chloride in that photographic stop bath. The bottle sits behind the vinegar under the sink, waiting. Guests leave. Goodbyes are traded. Ruth sharpens her focus. She realizes he cleared the room on purpose. Becket just smiles. The air at the funeral was thick enough to choke on. Pinfield and Matthews closed in on Becket. They looked at him like he was already dead meat. Their questions cut deep, targeting that massive Redfellow fortune. Becket didn't blink once. He played the clueless relative perfectly. Cold precision. The agents walked away with nothing. A fatal mistake. Meanwhile, Warren toasted his nephew's climb from mail clerk to executive suite. It felt hollow. Julia knew it too. She cornered him later, asking for straight answers. Talent or privilege? Her own business was bleeding cash. Becket cut the loan request short. No hesitation. Julia approaches a bank official, hoping to secure a loan off the books. He flags her husband's missing paperwork as a critical liability immediately. A severe risk factor. The man warns her. Taylor is already drowning in debt. They should be terrified of their own spot inside this collapsing empire. Becket reviews his past kills with icy detachment. Too messy. Lacking style. Moving forward, precision isn't optional. It's survival against sharp eyes. He orders a 40 regular while the crowd cheers him on. Ethan watches closely. Becket pinpoints the next Redfellow target, an outlier who built everything through sheer willpower. The visitor poses as Ben Johnson. From Midwest Christian Magazine, he interviews Stephen about church matters and photos with global leaders. Stephen brandishes a sword gifted by Kyoto's mayor, a sharp demonstration of power. The interviewer is forced to touch the blade's tip. Pressure builds instantly. Then the trap snaps shut. Ben retired 8 months ago. This man is an imposter lying under intense scrutiny. Silence fills the room. Under Stephen's unblinking gaze, the stranger cracks. He isn't Ben Johnson. He admits he is Becket, Stephen's cousin. A bold deception unfolding right before their eyes. Becket shoves Julia out with a lie about kitchen disasters. He needs the house empty before Ruth appears. He takes her to dinner instead of trapping them in that graveyard of secrets. Chopsticks become weapons on their trays. They talk dreams and what they'd buy if money fell from the sky instantly. Philu confesses she quit fashion because it lost its soul. It was supposed to be her identity. Now it's just noise. Father Morris shatters this calm. He asks a simple question: were success and love enough to stop Becket? To halt the systematic slaughter he inflicted on everyone around him? Philu consider pausing the bloodshed after booking a table at Manila's for Friday. Becket dissects Cassandra's death with cold precision. She locked her homes tight, yet left the spa exposed to a different kind of threat. Not a break-in, something far more personal. A stranger offers free teeth whitening while she reads. She asks for blessings instead. The toxin? Carbamide peroxide. Disguised as an off-brand batch from Cambodia that slipped past QC unnoticed. Muffled words escape her lips, lost under duck quacks and vibrating phones. To us watching, it's deafening silence. Enter MacArthur, preparing for spaceflight while ignoring employee health insurance. His assistant confirms the rocket is ready. He simply asks for coffee. You wonder how long his oxygen lasts in that tin can. Father Morris remembers when Becket was actually happy before money became a noose around his neck. Today, the man in that office is hollowed out by it. Ruth tries to calm him down. She thinks the engagement party location means this family circus is finally over. Wrong. Pinfield and Matthew step inside, pressing hard on the April 10th alibi while surveillance eyes track every twitch. Becket claims he didn't know about his heir status. It's a lie, but it holds up under pressure. Meanwhile, Warren refuses to panic despite failing markets. He trusts 35 years of reputation over immediate profit. Then the phone rings. Warren offers quiet counsel. Find love, stop fighting. It sounds too clean for a man built on buried bodies. A black and white photograph of Taylor drowning at Princeton lands in Becket's line of sight. The terrifying truth settles in. Someone has been watching his every move with surgical precision. Now they know. He slams his hand against the table. The safety net he built from lies and blood money is fraying under extreme pressure. Becket waits in the elevator alone. The numbers tick down while Old Ghost tries to meet him. Embezzlement, assault, a ledger written in blood. Outside, rain hammers the glass like it wants inside. Inside, silence. Then comes the sound he's been dreading. Footsteps on concrete below. Someone is waiting. The doors slide open with a heavy thud. A greeter smiles through the storm-canceled gloom. Becket swallows hard, nerves frayed thin. He gives his name. Just that. Whitelaw looks up from the shadows. Did you bring an appetite? Cold question. Colder intent, Whitelaw lays out the ugly truth of their climb. They both broke heads to get here. He calls conscience a noise drowned by wind. A soft chuckle follows the chimes. The air turns heavy. He brings up the woman who was his sharpest ally, asks why Becket let her fall. Music swells. The door opens. A trench gun from WWI hits the table, clatters, then clicks into place with a slow, deliberate care. Whitelaw tells him to aim for what matters most. The silence is absolute. Now picture it facing the man who built your fortune, holding the very weapon that could erase it. The storm isn't weather, it's a threat. Silence falls heavier than the shots themselves. Becket stands in the wreckage of his own making. He tells the officer it was self-defense, not a cold-blooded execution. The distinction matters when your hands are stained with family blood. The cop says help is coming. Casually adds Becket missed an hour of his engagement party. Becket claims ignorance about his grandfather. Insists they were strangers until tonight. He tries to leave, citing legal technicalities. The officer prefers he stay put for questioning. Now the trap snaps shut. In a quiet voiceover, Becket admits what he did. Withheld crucial details from Ruth. Fed her only what she would see on television screen. The flashbulbs pop. Becket soaks it in. His gilded cage of wealth and tragedy intact. He thinks he won. Then Agent Megan Pinfield steps forward. She shatters the illusion with an arrest for murder. The forensics are undeniable. A letter opener stamped with Becket's prints seals the case while Julia mourns their shattered history. He despises how such a trivial object dismantled his life until the gavel falls. Guilty. First-degree murder. Sentence is death. Order in the courtroom. God grant peace within these walls. Silence follows. Time drags inside cell 15 as Becket replays every mistake. Then footsteps approach. A guard signals 3 minutes left for a visitor. She doesn't offer comfort, only mockery, coal beneath layers of makeup. Becket demands answers from Julia, breath ragged, as she confirms her end comes in 24 hours. She insists he sign the deed before static swallows the line, punctuated by distant thuds on her side. The guard checks his watch. Seconds left for this final exchange between these cold walls. Becket remains unnervingly calm to another officer, confident about who's arriving next. Father Morris begins Psalm 23